we're now live streaming. Oh my gosh, we're live. You guys, hello, ha. Welcome, all you stewards of the land, humanitarians, and people who love to wear red glasses when you're live and streaming live. I just want to welcome all of you to another dose of positivity. I'm so grateful that you're here. And this show is going to rock your world. This woman, Angela Nelson, who I'm bringing on in just a few minutes, has a story that will inspire you not only to live like the future matters, but also to have a life and a career after a horrific thing happens to you, and that you can pick yourself up by the bootstraps and make your life even better than you ever imagined it could be. But before I do that, and while we're waiting for more people to come into the room, and so you can all know me, because some of you are seeing me for the first time, I am Donna Maltz. I am the host of A Dose of Positivity, and right now, for all you people who are looking at the restream on our LinkedIn page or our Facebook pages, I want to also welcome you to engage in the chat. And this is a live show. If you have a question, you can raise your hand. You can come even onto the screen, and Angela or myself will answer any of your questions. And these will be up. If you only can listen to half the show, we will have it up on our YouTube station really soon. We'll put that link in the chat. And so this way you guys can tune into YouTube or also in our Spotify and listen to some of our previous guests who will also rock your world. Because here I interview change makers, thought leaders, and health professionals that put social and environmental justice at the forefront of their endeavors. All of them having a story and a passion to help make the world a better place. And today with Angela, we're going to be talking about food and community, and how food brings by what we eat and put in our bodies, and how we eat and serve ourselves, how we can overcome adversity. And before we get I do a proper introduction to her, I'm going to be reading something very short, because I'm always trying to, all you new people who are finding us, to learn about, I am an author of some best-selling books. This one I'm reading from is Conscious Cures, Soul, S-O-U-L, Solutions to 21st Century Pandemics. And this is coming out of the food and drug pandemic chapter in this book, where I look at the root cause in this whole book of why we had a health pandemic, and will continue to have health pandemics until we get the true pandemics under control, starting with environmental and politics, economy, food and drug, fear, media, and conspiracy, and inequality, all pandemics that we need to heal and that are spreading like really nasty viruses. So I'm going to start out with this short little paragraph: making eating a spiritual act that will cure a pandemic. Food is sacred. Food is life. It's easy to sit down and mindlessly gobble a bowl of food in 2 minutes. This fast-paced way of eating is what our eating habits have evolved into. However, when we slow down and we consciously consume food, we understand the effects that each bite has on us, and we can move towards healthier choices. Find a special space without distraction where you can sit and enjoy your food. Take the time to breathe when eating. Be mindful of how it feels, both as it enters your body and throughout the digestion process. At each meal, give thanks from the depths of your soul to the plants and the animals who gave up their lives for you, and to the farmers who feed the world. So there's lots of good things in here about rejoicing about food and celebrating, and also looking at the challenges that we face in the industrial food complex, which has created many, many health issues. And if anybody knows that, it's Angela Nelson, who is an international bestseller and author. And she's the creator of Achieve Wellness. Together, where you can learn about and purchase natural solutions to heal and to improve your health, and an opportunity to increase your wealth. And we all know health is our greatest wealth. She gives you the inspiration, the motivation, and the resources to earn income while making a difference in your own health and for the clients she serves. After suffering for years from a painful disability, disabling, I have dyslexia, sorry, illness, and finally finding a natural way to heal, she is passionate about showing how you too can have health and wealth. She loves fitness. Oh my gosh, wait to hear her fitness program. She loves fit for herself. I can't do what she does. She loves photography like me, yay, and the outdoors, whether on the trails or in the water. Angela is on a passion to end food deserts and bring health back. And we will put all her links in our chat so you can see for yourself what an incredible woman she is. But while we're here at the beginning, before we get into the questions, I want to welcome you so much, Angela, all the way there from the Smoky Mountains of the United States of America to the show. And honey, please just open your heart and share with the audience who's here today and those on the replay what brought you here today, your story. Let's hear from the beginning.
Donna, thank you so much for inviting me to be here in this wonderful community. I'm so grateful to have met you, and I look forward to getting to know you better and working with you going forward. And just thank you for your dose of positivity, because God knows the world needs it. We all need to be reminded of things to be grateful for and practice gratitude. And I definitely, every single day I wake up, the first thing I say is thank you, because life is a gift. And if you're awake, if you're alive, there's a reason and you have a purpose. And it's up to us to, find that purpose or ask for guidance for what that purpose is. And my journey, you wanted me to start at the beginning. Well, I was a very athletic person. Now I'm starting to have dyslexia. I was a very athletic person and enjoyed hiking, kayaking, rock climbing, rappelling. I was doing everything and just really loved a lot of physical activities. And that was when I wasn't working my very high stress job. And that was my way of balancing things. Nature is like my church. So to be into nature is the way I rejuvenate and replenish and connect. And so everything was going great. And then I started experiencing random pain. And it was unexplained. And I thought, I'm young, I'm tough, whatever, and just kind of brushed it off. Well, the pain kept growing. And it was different places. It would be like my back would hurt one day, my feet would hurt another day. And fast forward, it ended up, the doctor said, hey, you've got plantar fasciitis. And I found that out when I went to get up one day and hit the floor and fell back in the bed because of the pain. And the pain just, they thought, oh, this is all it is. And then it's like it was moving around. It would be in my hands, in my neck, in my shoulders. And it was unexplained. And I finally, it got to the point where, okay, there are some days where it feels like I have been just kicked by a horse, where it hurt to breathe and it hurt to move. And I would just collapse at the end of the day under the pressure. I couldn't hike anymore. I couldn't bike. I definitely couldn't rock climb or rappel or kayak or anything. Just my body started seizing up. And so I said, I've got to get help. And they tested me for cancer, for lupus, for MS. Just all of these scary terms. And they said, well, we don't know what you have. and let's just wait and see what's going on. And I thought, wait and see. Well, it progressed, unfortunately, to the point where I started gaining weight. I started losing my mobility to where I couldn't even open bottle of medications they were giving me. They had to give me the little pop-off cap, and even doing that was excruciating. I was to the point where I couldn't even turn the doorknob to get out of the house one day. And I ended up on the couch just crying because I couldn't get out of the house. And the pain it ended up taking over my whole body to the point where, again, work was excruciating. I couldn't do anything that I enjoyed anymore. And I was losing hope. 15 medications later, and that's an estimate. I know it was at least 15 medications that I can name off. The doctors kept trying multiple solutions, multiple treatments, and they had side effects. No solutions, but a ton of side effects. And I ended up having an aggressive form of, they said, arthritis. It was an autoimmune condition. And they said this was not only attacking my joints, it was attacking my ligaments and my tendons, and that I was going to slowly, excruciatingly, painfully lose my mobility. They said, you need to get a wheelchair, file for disability. And I was thinking, wait a minute, I'm an avid hiker. I'm going to hike the AT. I've got all these things that I want to do. And you're telling me I'm going to be in a wheelchair? And I just, that was like a death sentence to me, that this is it. And plus they told me your life is going to be shortened. And I said, well, you guys keep me all these medications, you're going to kill me before the disease does. And my gallbladder, they wanted to take my gallbladder. I said, no. They said, your liver is failing. I was in so much pain. And when I say so much pain, I can't even begin to express how excruciating this was, to where in the morning I could wake up and just tears because I couldn't even get out of the bed. It hurt to breathe. It hurt to move. I would try to scoot myself to the edge of the bed and try to throw myself off and hope I landed on my feet, which then again, my feet hurt. Everything hurt. And when I went to the rheumatologist, for example, the elderly people gasped and I couldn't even write my name. They gave me a pen. It took both hands to try to grip it, and I made a backwards Y for the letter A. And they said, that's okay, honey, you don't have, because to sit from a standing position or stand from a sitting position, again, felt like somebody just knocked the air out of me. And all I could do was just stay in one position or the other. And the pain got to the point where, I said, guys, I was talking to the doctors and they said, there's nothing else we can do for you. They had me on chemotherapy even. And that didn't work.
You're like
the nightmares were for, oh my gosh, yes, I was on chemotherapy and they just looked at me, the lady that gave me the chemotherapy, she looked at me and said, oh no, your hair. And just said, you're gonna lose it all. And I went home and just cried. And everybody was looking at me with such pity. And I had always been such a strong person, and it was very hard. And when they told me there's nothing else that we can do for you, what I heard was, we're giving up, why don't you? And I actually contemplated that. The pain was so bad, and they said it was only going to get worse. And I was seriously trying to figure out the easiest, least messy way to exit. And I couldn't do that because my husband now, who I was dating at the time and tried to hide it from him, but he caught on when I couldn't get out of the bed. And there were days where I couldn't move. And he knew I was in pain. He knew I was hiding something. And we weren't living together, but when he stayed over, he knew something was going on. I finally told him, and he stuck with me through those dark days. And he had lost a best friend in high school to suicide, and I couldn't do that to him because it still pains him to this day. And so I said, okay, I've got to find help. I came home from another doctor's visit and collapsed on the floor, and just the weight of the pain, the lack of answers, the frustration, the not knowing what's going to happen just collapsed on top of me. And I just started praying. And I said, I can't do this alone. I can't. I've tried it. I'm stubborn as heck. It's not working. And I received my answer. I quit all the medications. I quit everything. And I don't recommend anyone do that. But for me, that was the right choice. That's what I received, that I need to get off of all the medications. And because the side effects were horrible, I didn't sleep for like 2 years. It was maybe 4 hours a night. And so I quit everything and I started doing more research and more research. And I felt drawn to looking at what I was ingesting, what I was listening to, what I was thinking, the thoughts in my head, what I was being told. If you're being told there's no help, no hope, give up, you can't listen to that. And
Right
you have
on.
to find your yeah, exactly. And I started looking at the food that I was consuming and researching, and the things we put into our bodies are horrific. And I really think that my illness that I had, the illness that I had, it's not mine, I don't claim it. The illness that I
Good.
had came from a toxic environment and toxic food, and all the pesticides and chemicals and crap that they put in our food and on our food. And it's just, pardon my language, but bastardized food.
Mm-hmm.
It's not real food. And so I started looking for answers of how to heal and how to get more food into my diet, and more good food, the fruits, the whole vegetables, the berries, the nuts, the seeds, the herbs, the good things that we are supposed to be eating. I have a motto. It's like, get rid of all of the O's, the excuses and the O's. No Doritos, no Cheetos, no Fritos, none of those, and incorporate whole foods. And that's what I started doing. And next thing I know, I started feeling better. And this is without any pain medications. Now, there was a time that was very trying because I was still in pain. And though having anti-inflammatory and inflammatory fighting foods was incredible, absolutely incredible. So I did not undergo any surgery. I still have my gallbladder. My liver has recovered, thank God. And I feel better now than I did before the disease. And as a matter of fact, I work out every single day because I can. I went from being told that I need to be in a wheelchair and file for disability and plan out my will because my life was going to be cut short, to not just surviving, but thriving. And I work out every single day and love it. And I just passed my certification curriculum and am now a certified fitness coach, so I can help other people as well. So,
Oh my God, that is such a great story. I just am super excited. Wow, Kathy Stingley's coming in. That's so exciting. Welcome to the show. You'll have to listen to the replay. Anybody came on late to hear the rise of consciousness that comes out of eating healthy food, but also having love. You had a loving partner there who wasn't going to let you off it. Here's a woman who was going to take her life because she couldn't endure the pain so as she did, and that is not a very healthy mindset, and just what a little prayer and a believing in ourselves can do. It's a conscious cure when we change the way we think about the things we do. And it's a beautiful a story and a testament to you, as somebody who was so, you were young, you were vibrant. I mean, you, when you told me your story, I mean, you were one of the most athletic people I ever met, you know. and and now that you got certified to be a health coach, so I'm not a health, but yes, fitness instructor, which is super cool.
Fitness.
I wish I was there. You could whoop me into shape. No, I'm in pretty good shape for 65. How old are you? Come on, can you? How young are
You're
you? I
you're in
mean,
excellent shape, and I have virtual options, so you can actually, do the fitness program anytime at your convenience. Yeah.
oh, cool. A little a
Yeah.
Jackie LaLanne here. So let's hear, okay, here you are. It's a couple years after you're almost ready to commit suicide, and because you're in so much pain, to where you are now. The sequential steps, what was changing your food and the way you're eating. And now you also have a mission. What is your mission like moving forward right now? Well, you sort of clued us in on it. You're doing this because you want to help other people, not to give out. And part of it is sharing your story like you are doing right here, which we're so grateful for. But talk about this deep mission that you have and where you're going with this.
The mission that I have is to end food deserts and to make nutritious food available for all communities, no matter where you are. Because the key to health and the true wealth is your health, is good food, whole foods, not the standard American diet of fast foods and junk and fake foods, as I call them.
That'll make you sick. And I just love that I mean, you guys, that is so huge coming from someone who almost died, that your goal is to eliminate food deserts. And if some people might not know what a food desert is, you'll find them in any impoverished area. You'll find it where the crime rate is escalating daily and is off the charts. You find food deserts in Indian reservations or Native American reservations often. You'll find them in Hispanic areas, Black, low income, where people are just being deprived of human rights. And so for you, like, to come out and to say that, it just gives me goosebumps. And I know you're not the only one working on eradicating food deserts. I mean, we are seeing more and more people recognizing that if it takes 10 times more money to incarcerate someone than it does to feed them healthy food. It takes 10 times
Yes.
more to incarcerate someone than to educate them. So, we have to get deep down into the political craziness, like of white supremacy, if I may say, or what is taking so long. And so that's a long haul. That's a road. So are you doing something with an organization in regards to food deserts? Or,
Yes, I am.
can you share that
Yes,
with
I
us?
am actually. Absolutely. I am partnered with a global health food company that has wonderful products that are available to everybody that can help you get more nutritionally dense whole foods into your body. And there are two ways. I don't know if anybody here is familiar with concentrated plant powders and the power within that. It's very similar to herbs when you have the herbs from your plants and they're very highly concentrated. Imagine having the power of over 30 fruits and vegetables just concentrated down into capsule or chewable form, and even shakes like alfalfa sprouts and broccoli sprouts and amaranth and quinoa. And also another channel is the ability to grow your own food at home and in your communities. And again, like I said, my mission is to end food deserts. And I didn't share this, but I am Native American. I did not grow up on a reservation. However, I do have friends and family on reservations. And yes, absolutely impoverished. I know you were talking about the pandemic situation, and many of you may be familiar with hearing about the Navajo Nation and what happened there, because they're
Mm-hmm.
tight-knit families and a lot of people congregating that live together, multi-generational families living in the same dwelling, and they didn't have access to fresh water. And a lot of things, a lot of situations that people don't realize about indigenous communities are that a lot have lack of electricity, lack of, you were talking about impoverished, lack of jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And like if you go to any other impoverished community, you'll have a liquor store and you'll have a convenience store with junk food and things that are just not good for us. And it's almost like you're set up to fail. And you will
You.
not find a nice, healthy farmer's market. And even if you have a farmer's market, often they are seasonal. And so to have a way to grow your own fresh produce at home where you know where it comes from, what has been put on it, and that you can harvest it when the items or when the fruits and vegetables are actually full of nutrition and when they're ripened, as opposed to what we have in our grocery stores a lot of the times, that's been shipped thousands of miles before it gets to us. And we don't know what's been sprayed on it or been put on it. And so that's one thing that's very important to me, is the ability to have this in your own home. And it's a very simple system that uses, are you ready for this? No dirt. You don't have to have dirt. You don't have to weed. You don't have to dig. You don't have to bend over and deal with all of that. And it also has space saving, grows 30% more produce, and also 3 times faster. And be careful with that, because I've actually put in something in every single port and grew a jungle. And I had to start giving food away because I couldn't eat it. It was just 2 of us. We couldn't eat all of it. So it's a wonderful aeroponic system. And you also use only, 98% less water as well. And so that's something that I'm very, very proud of. And it's called Tower Garden. If anybody has heard of that, and if you haven't, I would love to share that with you.
Yeah, well, we'll make sure we get that in the link there, and we can talk more about that. And just getting back to one thing, I just want to get really clear. Dirt is dead soil. Soil is full of microorganisms and living organic matter. It sequesters carbon. It's very essential for life kind, not just humankind, to survive. It's the blanket of Mother Earth. So these
Mm.
hydroponic systems or these tower systems are great, especially in in the urban areas, in prison systems, in school systems. Kids could be doing these. We kind of need. There's both, right? We want to have both, because there's also dignity in putting our hands in the soil. We know that soil is good for our microbiome. We know that soil has those happy hormones, those endorphins in that you get from playing in the soil. That's why kids are always so happy, and until the mothers say, or their dads say, go take a bath, you're like a billy goat, you stink like dirt. But the kids are all happy because they have had time to play in the soil, not the dirt. Dirt is dead soil. So, but I love these hydroponic systems, and I see these tower systems, as being solutions across the globe now, that we can be implementing these in these reservations all around, anywhere there's a food desert, and giving people dignity to go out there and harvest their own nutrient dense food. And one of the things that I'll have Tel put into the link is, a couple weeks ago, we had one of our speakers who spoke on regenerative agriculture and a process that is a little bit different than what you're doing. We have Sophie Soul in the house. That's so great. Welcome to the show. And his name is David Rosenthal. If you could find his link and put it in there, it's a fabulous replay of a product that he's doing or a solution that he has working with regenerative farmers to bring these nutrient dense plants food matter, and has a similar mission that, and I think one of the companies that you work with is Juice Plus, and you can talk a little bit that maybe towards the end about the whole Juice Plus, because that's something and also put in the interview with Purium with Reader Jean. There's a lot of products, there's a lot of supplements out there that we can fortify our bodies with. And here's what I want to always be really clear on these shows. I don't make any money on any of this, and we're not selling anything. I have never done Juice Plus. I haven't done these tower gardens. I'm not getting commissions. So you guys know, and Angela is not like trying to sell anything to you either. She's trying to share with you how she was in so much pain, she was suicidal, and what healed her. So in full confidentially, full disclosure, what works for you is what works for you. And when you pray and you get the message, you listen, right, to whatever the universe, the God, the goddess that you pray to. But what I hear, the biggest thing that we're getting from this conversation, you can look at the smile, you can look at the radiance in this woman's face. She wants to tell her story. She wants no one to be in pain, no one to come close to exiting this world, but to empower and to join the many people who are trying to abandon the whole even just notion that there's food deserts out there alone. You eradicate this crazy system that I talk about in Conscious Cures. And there are solutions, and Angela has some of them. So Angela, I would love for you to talk about like when you changed your diet and you all of a sudden realize, man, I can't eat 14 bananas every day and get the potassium I need. I can't eat 25 peaches to get the fiber and the vitamin A. Um, talk about the transition when in your diet, and then how you came to where you found these certain products that you obviously believe in and you want to share with people. And I want everybody to have a hard look at these, what she's got, what she does, and choose for yourself. Wow, that was a lot.
You. Yep. It was a lot. Well, like I said, I prayed because I finally had to admit, I can't do this myself. The doctors have given up. What am I going to do? And it was very interesting. I heard clear as day the phrase, the quote, "Let thy food be thy medicine and thy medicine be thy food." I kind of looked, I thought, okay. And I literally felt as if I was I was on the floor crying and just a mess and didn't know what to do and just gave it all up. And I felt like I was being lifted off the floor, and I had already spent countless hours searching the internet for hope and help. And I felt like I should search for fruits and vegetables. I said, okay, search for fruits and vegetables. Okay, you're supposed to get 7 to 15 servings a day. Who can eat that much? Maybe you can. I couldn't. And if you're an athlete, you need even more, like 16 to 21. And so I said, okay, how can I get more fruits and vegetables? And I came across Juice Plus. Had never heard of it, didn't know what to think of it, very skeptical of anything I had to take, because I had just finished saying I'm never taking another pill again, not taking any medicine. I don't want any vitamins. I don't want anything that's man-made. And I started looking at it, and the more I learned about this wonderful, wonderful company and products that they offer, I saw that it was real food, plant-based, 100% plant-based, nothing artificial, no pesticides, no chemicals. It's tested multiple times. And then the turning point was when I saw the research. When I saw the research, I said, okay, now you have my attention, because I'm not going to just take anything. You can have other products that maybe they have one study that's been done on rats or something like that. So you've got to be very careful. Do your research, become your own health advocate, and do your research and find what works for you. And this is what worked for me. I said, okay, let me give it a try. Everything I looked at, the testimonials, I said, what do I have to lose? Because again, remember, I was right at the end. Like I said, my liver was failing and I was on my way out. Whether I was going to do it myself or not, the disease was trying to take me out. And so I started taking it. And again, it's concentrated fruits and vegetables, just the powders in capsules. And at the time, my GI system was really seized up. I was not able to process my food. So I wasn't sure if this was even going to work, what was going to happen. I said, can I even take these? So I took a few at a time and just said, okay, let's see what happens. And next thing I know, I'd say probably within a week or two, my motility, my ability to process my food started normalizing, which is huge. And like I said, my inflammation started reducing as the ability to get rid of waste started helping. I know that maybe a TMI moment, but we all do it. And if you can't, hey, you're in trouble. So, I was able to actually process my food like you're supposed to. And little by little, it just started helping me. And within a month, I was able to start moving. I could feel my mobility returning to my body. And for me, that was everything. I was in less pain. I could definitely tell I should have a before and after picture. I should show you. My face was really puffy. I looked like I was probably, I don't know. I know I was 20 pounds heavier. I can tell you that. And that was all inflammation. It was toxic inflammation. And so this really helped. And it's very important to point out, it didn't boost my immune system, which if you have an autoimmune condition can be very dangerous because it's already your immune system's haywire. You don't want to boost it. These fruits and vegetables brought my system into a state of balance, a state of homeostasis, so that by being balanced, my body could actually begin the healing process. And so that's what worked for me. And if my story and these products can help anybody else, I mean, most medical professionals agree that most of the diseases that we have can be prevented with good nutrition. And it all comes down to the power of the food at the end of our fork and what we choose to put into our bodies.
And in reverse engineer, most of it started by what we put in our mouth. And so that's that changing those habits and finding those things that we believe that are going to work for us, that are going to change. And you guys, I want to, first of all, I want to just thank you for your courage and your bravery just to sharing your story. And it's very emotional. And anybody, I know there's some people who are on the live call right now who have had sicknesses and diseases and have their own stories, and done certain things. I know, Brian, you've got like some things, iodized water. This is the defining moment where, we put some links in there, like David Rose's and Rita Jean's talk. And then there's also blue-green algae. We have spoken with Karina Benzel, who does a lot of research and studying blue-green algae. People are talking fish oil, right? Great omega-3s, but what do fish eat? They eat algae. So if you go straight to the source, the more basic you can get to the source of that food and that concentration of that of the foods, like what Juice Plus is doing, or what David is doing with their crystallized vegetables, is so important to solving this world hunger crisis and distributing food around the globe and right in our own neighborhoods to people who can't do it. And I love that when these companies, even like Purium, have gotten big enough that they're putting their money where their mouth is. They're putting it into regenerative programs and agriculture and food desert things like what Juice Plus is doing. And these are the companies we want to support. We want to use our dollars, vote with them. and use them to make the world, not just your world, a better place, but to go beyond that. And yet, so many of us, even myself, every once in a while, those O things like, it's not just an onion that starts with an O, the Dorito, the Frito, all of those things. Every time you go and you buy one of those nasty O things, you're supporting the industrial food complex that when you take it from the soil to the soul, those major corporations where there's 10 of them that are distributing most of the groceries and producing most of the groceries that you find in the store are making the world addicted to not just the food, but the pharmaceutical companies, the pharmaceuticals. Most of them, these food companies are owned by pharmacies or one or the other. Because the idea is that you eat this stuff, you're going to get sick, then you're going to go on this medication. And most of those companies, those 10 companies, also, one of them being Bayer, like Bayer aspirin, remember when you were a baby? Bayer aspirin owns Monsanto. Bayer aspirin owns most of those oak companies. They're different subsidiaries of the food brand, right? And it's this like virus that's out of control, which I write about in Constant Cures. And what we're talking about right now is the solutions to 21st century pandemics, which is to like, let's reverse engineer all the sickness. Let's like looking at a story like this and saying, oh my God, I can do something about this. Right? I can make the world a better place and be a healthier person. So on a dose of positivity, we don't hold back the truth. We don't hold back the facts. And make sure you put in this week's blog in there. There's ways you can learn a whole lot more. There's a lot of blogs, a lot of things I've written in addition to that, and going back and listening to many of the recordings that we have on a dose of positivity. So like what motivates you? Let's get back to this. We don't have that much time, and I really appreciate you all allowing me to share that with you during here. But what motivates you to get out of bed every day in the morning? What is the thing that just, wow, I don't hurt, I'm not getting out of bed and my feet aren't hurting? What is motivating you right now more than anything to start each new day?
Gratitude. First of all, gratitude is key. I give gratitude every single day, say thank you first thing in the morning for my life, for another day of life, for this day, for today. And I thank the creator, God, source, whoever you want to refer to it and, just thank you. And I am motivated by the ability to share with other people and to ask, please, whoever I'm supposed to speak with today, whoever needs to hear this, whoever I can help, please let them come across my path. Let my words be clear and let the message that is shared be what they need to hear. And so that motivates me every day, every single day, that there's a reason I'm still here. And so I'm like, okay, until I fulfill that purpose, I'm going to be here just leading the charge. And also I wanted to come back, if I may, too. I know you mentioned omegas. Another thing that I've learned, and I'm still learning, I'm just absorbing all of this knowledge that I can, and I will never learn it all, but it's just a joy to learn so much about our food, where it comes from, how it works with our body, how we can utilize it to benefit ourselves and our communities and our families and the world at large. And when it comes to omegas, yes, the source is the algae that the fish eat. And a lot of people don't know that. They think it comes from the fish. Well, the fish are over harvested, first of all. Second of all, you need to think about the toxins in our oceans. You've got heavy metals, mercury, for example, lead, what have you. And so a lot of other fish are dying, including or mammals, dolphins and such. And then you have this toxic omega-3 is all you have, where we actually have a full spectrum omega that works together with omega-3, 5, 6, 7, and 9. And so that's a complete omega, and it's plant-based again. And I just can't say enough about plant-based is the way. And it just has helped heal my life. And I know that it can help other people. And I'm not a vegan yet, but I am a reformed carnivore. I will tell you that was another big change. A reformed carnivore. I love animals, but I used to eat elk steak all the time, venison, you name it. I was eating it. Now, no. And I realized that also helped too, was getting rid of a lot of the meat and going more plant. And the more you eat of whatever you're eating, the more you crave. And now I'm eating things that I would have touched before. And I love it. And it's you just start craving what you're eating, crave more of it. So the more good you put in, the more you want. That's metabolic conditioning. So
I like that, metabolic conditioning. Wow. Just tell us a little bit more about that metabolic conditioning and what is it that you're eating more of, because you're radiating, honey. I'd love you to share that. What is metabolic
I'm telling
conditioning?
you,
Because
it's
I do like
gratitude
my
and juice
steak.
plus. Well,
Gratitude and juice
well,
plus.
again, and you can have, how can I say, grass fed, I believe, and make sure that it's sustainable as it can be. And they're, taking, I don't know. I'm kind of funny about that now, where I don't eat meat anymore, like I said, but I'm every now and then, well, I say that every now and then I might have, my husband will want, homemade pizza, and he'll have like turkey pepperoni or something. So I'm like, sorry, turkeys, I might eat a little, but, but with metabolic conditioning, a good example is how many people have kids, and how many of those kids are all about a certain meal from a fast food place, and they want it all the time. I don't think it's just the advertisements that you see on TV or that you hear, although that's a big part of it. But that metabolic conditioning, whatever you're feeding them, they start craving. So if you have a lot of sugar, or if you have a lot of, fake foods, that's what they crave, because they're used to having that. Those burgers that if you were to buy one of those meals and set it on your counter, one of my friends had one for 20 years and it looked the same. It looked the same after 20 years. The receipt faded, but the meal looked the same. And that's just scary. It's fake food. So this more vegetables and fruits that you get into your body, the more you crave those fruits and vegetables. And I'm getting 45 fruits and vegetables in my body every single day, because I have a shake that has the broccoli sprouts, the alfalfa sprouts, the amaranth, the quinoa, those good grains that you need. And then I take my Juice Plus, which has the strawberries, blueberries, bilberries, grape, tomato, pineapple. Gosh, I can't name them all, but all sorts. Oh, kale and spinach and beets. I would never eat beets before. I thought they were the grossest thing. And now I eat beets twice a day and love it. And I'm eating spaghetti squash instead of that pasta that is bleached and enriched pasta. I've now switched to, like, you can have quinoa, and instead of your steak, try quinoa, and try lentils, and there's all sorts of things you can have. And now I'm a big fan of tofu, which I never thought I would say that, but I was like, oh, it's actually simple to prepare. And so the more that you get into your body, the more you crave. And I didn't set out to be more plant-based, but it found me, and I'm ever grateful for that. And so the more I get into my body, the more I crave. And yeah, I'm loving it. And it does help your skin. It helps your mind. There's studies on cardiovascular health. I mean, there's nothing that food can't improve and help. So.
Oh, nothing that food can't improve. I like that. That's could be titled a song or book. I like that. Nothing that food can't
Yeah.
improve. The right food, right? Oh, that is
The
so
right
so
food.
great. Yeah, I'm super psyched, and as a culinary chef and owner of a natural foods restaurant for 37 years that my husband and I ran, I mean we saw it, the whole we were trying to serve this really healthy food, and that was in the early 80s when fast food restaurants were coming, taking over the small family farm lots. It was really horrific. The bigger the mac, the less rainforest there was to be had, and the sicker people were getting, like you said, with that, the food, not even it's not real food. Not only that, it has some scientists are working on engineering each and every day on how to make people addicted to these carcinogenic substances. And we just have to decide who we want to be when we grow up. No matter what age, we're still growing up, and no matter where we are in our lives, we can still make a difference and make a change. And I just want to say that I don't see any real big questions. We're going to be ending the show, the live presentation, really soon. And I don't know if there's any comments in Facebook tell or anything you can interrupt if there are. But I know someone was talking and mentioning about Ava. You had it in Fiji, Brian. And yeah, Ava is one of those plant medicines that is really good for your vagus nerve, your central nervous system. It's very calming, and it makes you feel in a relaxed state, and it has other medicinal properties. So I would add that herb if it works, and again, like any of these things like Juice Plus, I'm really going to give it a try because I've tried a lot of different things. And I think your body, as we change and as we age and as we go through these different cycles, it's really good to change parts of our diets, and parts of and our supplement regime, as well, to making sure that at the different phases in our life, we're getting what we need, and also making sure that the companies that we're buying from stay accountable to the things that you value the most. And like getting rid of food deserts is a really good thing. Supporting regenerative farmers and agricultural systems that sequester carbon and don't destroy the soil and turn it into dirt. We being responsible and knowing where our food grows and knowing where our food is raised, whether you eat animal products or not, it's a sacred being. When you kill a carrot or you kill a cow, that gratitude piece that you're talking about, Angela, to me is, and that is kind of why I even read that part in Conscious Cures at the beginning. I mean, gratitude, we have so much to be grateful for. Any of us who are right here, privileged enough to be listening to this beautiful woman who took the time out of your day. And I want to thank you so much, Angela. And I would love for you to leave us with some parting words. And but before we do that, I wanted to share with you guys just a couple of cool things. First of all, I want to make sure you're all getting a daily dose of positivity, because every day Tel and I put together a beautiful one of my nature photographies, a beautiful quote from people that I know and love, and or quotes from myself that are meant to bring you into a state of gratitude every day, to feel a daily dose of positivity. And so, um, and next week, you guys are going to be flipped out. And Angela, I hope you can show up for this guest next week. I want to share this with you before you send us off with your big, beautiful aloha. But her name is Permilla Param. I hope I'm saying this right. And she just did a session with me this week. She's going to blow your mind. She is a healer. She's 74 years old. And she has started a new company. I love bringing on these eco entrepreneurs that put social and environmental justice at the forefront of their endeavors, like yourself, Angela. But Pramila is gathering, and you're going to want to connect with her too, honey. She is gathering some of the most exceptional health professionals, and networking with people who need what you have to offer, your smile, your love, your essence, and also helping to guide people to products and services that will help them heal on a faster level. We need to heal faster. I'm not one of those people who say, oh, you'll do it in your own time. No, if you're sick, get over it. Or if you're getting sick, we have to nip it in the bud. And we know that food is thy medicine. So I hope you'll all join us next week for Pramila. She does also some spiritual will clearing, and she did a clearing with me. And she can do it with any one of you who come on and wants to volunteer. It's pretty freaking amazing. And when you see her, she's not on here, so I can talk about her. She is the cutest thing. I mean, she's 74 years old. She's got bangs. She's like the most unlike person you would think that would be doing what the kind of work she does. But that just shows us that all of us can step out of our comfort zone. All of us can be who we choose to be. We can bring out that internal light and love and the bounties of consciousness and transcend our energy. And like on a pebble in a still pond, we can ripple it through the globe, just like Angela Nelson has done with us here today. So Angela, send us off with some big, big love. Anything that you last things that people you want to offer to send us all off into the rest of our day or evening, wherever you are in the world.
I want to thank you again, Donna, for inviting me here. And thank you, everybody that took time out to show up and show up for yourselves and for your families and your loved ones. And I just would say, even if you feel like you're in a hopeless situation, or people are telling you, or doctors or whoever are telling you that you're a failure, or you're not doing this right, or you're going to die, or that you have this fatal disease, or any negativity, I would suggest change the channel. Get away from negativity if you can. Quit watching the news. Quit supporting, dare I say, big pharma. There we go. I put it out there. Follow the money trail. There is a time and a place for medication, yes, but follow the money trail, like Donna pointed out. There are certain companies that are invested in both medications and food. Why is that? So again, become your own health advocate and surround yourself with positivity. Get the dose of positivity from Donna and fill your life with joy and happiness, because life is a gift. And if you are here, you have a reason for being here and you have a voice. So use it to help others. There is a reason and a mission. And I pray that each of you find that gratitude every single day and just, help fill the world with love and positivity, because we need it.
You are such a gift to the world, and everybody in the link there, thank you so much for those beautiful, encouraging parting words. You have a complimentary gift for everyone, and there's a link there in the bottom. And for everybody who wants to click on that link, you'll find the gift inside there. And we are just on the hour of a dose of positivity. And I want to thank everybody who stayed on and joined us and just got to take some of this big, beautiful Angela Nelson vibe with you. I'm so grateful that you're all able to be here with us today. So big, big love and aloha. We'll see you next Thursday with Pramila. And yes, we'll bring you back on the show sometime again, and check out all of Angela's links. You to get to know her, call her, ask her questions. She is the most approachable, loving human that I have met in a very long time. And you can see that by her beautiful, radiant smile. And to all of you, sending out a massive big heart and love and a dose of positivity your way. Aloha.